You don't have that quiet corner to have a meeting or something like that. Yeah.
I know it's difficult, but don't worry about it. I mean, if it's noisy, it's noisy. We don't care. That's it doesn't matter. You just have
Right.
to translate. Maybe you can tell me what they're selling and stuff. I would be curious.
They're selling almonds or something.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a couple of
Right.
almonds or something. Yeah, I live in a very quiet neighborhood, so we just get, I don't know, the random. I don't know if you have those like pickles, like mango pickles and other
Yes.
kind of pickles. Yeah, so sometimes randomly the old man with his motorbike comes by. They've got these like little stores at the back of their motorbikes, and then he just honks
Yeah.
down the road, and who's interested comes out and buys their things. So we have these,
Oh,
even though it's a
you
very,
have
very
those.
quiet neighborhood.
Oh,
But yeah, those. My
yeah.
husband gets
We have.
excited when he comes.
Right. So my little one gets furious when she's answering to her teacher or something. Like she's answering or being in a project and someone honks or announces
Yeah.
something. So she's like, "What? Why can't they stop? It's so noisy over here. I cannot even
Yeah,
study."
my son takes it as an opportunity to run away from the screen because sometimes they still have online. Like the other day we had a cyclone and the schools were closed, so they did online. And then I think the postman came down, or the grass cutter, or someone, again, like with the motorbike. The dogs were barking, and I see him running past my office door. I'm like, "Hey, you're not leaving classroom yet. You're not done." And he just needs to find out who there is. Like it's the
Yeah.
opportunity to just get distracted from that screen and not listening to your
Because
teacher and all of that.
yeah, because he's just 5, right? So that's why.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
7. So yeah, exactly 7. But
Or
he's not,
7, okay.
for him, this online learning is not his thing. He is very much
Yeah.
a social butterfly. He needs to like see people, interact with people. So this online learning has been a real challenge for him. He's much better now than, let's say, 2 years ago when that whole thing started. He wouldn't even go on a Zoom call. Like he was plainly refusing to go on any online thing. But now he does it, but he still struggles to like focus and like, "Oh, it's so boring. I don't want to do it," and that kind of thing. But how are your
Yeah.
kids with that? How has it been for
Even
you, the
they don't
whole
like
whole
it. They want to go to school, make friends, and interact with people. But the only thing they do not want to is get up early in the morning to go to school. The rest is
That's
all
it.
fine.
Yeah, exactly. That was the change again. Like now, when schools reopen, like, okay, we've got to make sure we get going in the morning. It's been much more
Yes.
relaxed.
Yeah, that's the
The
biggest
downside.
pain. Yeah, to wake them up early in the morning. Rest, everything is
What
fine.
what
They would
time does
enjoy it.
school start in India usually?
It's 7:30.
Oh, that's
So usually,
early, even earlier than
yeah,
here. Wow.
yeah.
So what time
So
would
it's
they
like
need to leave the
usually
house?
if they go, they have to take a transport to go to school. So usually it's like they take transport around 6:30 to reach the school on time. So we have to make sure that they get up by 5:30, something
Yeah.
like that, like around that time to finish their morning
But then
chores
it's still
so
like
that they
tuck, tuck,
can.
tuck. Like, I mean, we wake up at 5:30, but they leave house at like 7:15. So it's not like rushing. But if you wake up at 5:30 and then they have to leave at 6:30, it's literally like, like brush your
It's
teeth,
a
go to eat,
rush.
get dressed,
Yeah.
up, off you go. Gosh.
No time to waste at
Okay.
all. Yeah.
And
So
what time
they
do
do
they
not
finish
want.
then?
It's around 1:30.
Okay, so it's earlier than we finish, about 3 o'clock. So everything is
Mm-hmm.
earlier. But then
Yeah.
when you
So by the
work,
time
like let's say you work in an office, what would be normal office hours?
office hours are 9 to 5 or 9 to 6.
So what do parents do with their children, with
Uh,
their children from like 1 o'clock
it's
to
like
6?
other than metros, like because India has a lot of diversity. So other than
Yeah,
metros, still there are a lot of families who live with their like
the
grandparents and
larger,
their
yeah,
cousins,
the
and
larger
yeah,
families,
they have the whole
similar to here.
family with them. So somebody or else is there at home to take care of the kids. But in
Yeah.
metros or like Mumbai or Delhi or nuclear families are there, so they need to adjust accordingly, that they have the neighbors or they have somebody to take care of the kids in the apartments, or some they have to manage like childcare. Or and in IT industry, most big companies, they offer childcare in the building
Okay.
itself sometimes for small kids. So
Yeah.
for small kids, they can keep their children in the company's childcare, and for elder ones, they have to be independent enough to get into the house, and they have to manage for a
Mm.
couple of hours. Yeah.
Wow.
So in that case,
But that
safety is
means,
also
mm,
issue
yeah,
for kids. Like if they come back from school, if the mom and dad is not there for an hour or two, they need to be safe alone there. So yeah, so most of the time grandparents live with small kids in India. Still is the same kind of situation.
yeah, yeah. But it means that parents don't see their children a lot. You know, when you send them out at 6:30 and then you come back
Hmm.
from home at 7, there's like
It's
very
hard.
little time left to do
It's
anything with your
hard.
children.
It's
Oh my
hard. It's
God, that's
hard.
definitely,
And more IT industry, they have projects of abroad like US
yeah,
and Europe, and so they work on different time zones.
yes,
So like my husband works until 2 o'clock at night. His work starts from afternoon to 2 o'clock at night. So if he has a different time of working, I have a different time of working. So it's difficult.
difficult. Yeah, it's very hard on the
Yeah.
family to stick together, and obviously,
So
everyone
work
has their
from
burden
home,
to carry, and yeah,
yes. So work from home also has helped people who have small children, especially in IT industry, because they
yeah,
can stay with their kids and they can work from home conveniently rather than coming from office in
yeah,
midnight, like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the night. So they can work from home. So still, and for future also, IT people would be working from home. The big companies like Tata and all those, they have committed their employees to work from home for long term. So
yeah.
probably that solves this kind of problem. But for other industries, of course, it's difficult.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I'm always curious to see how things are, especially India is still. I mean, here we have a lot of similarities because it's a huge Indian community in Mauritius, as you know, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still, like I'm from Europe, so India seems very different. So it's really fascinating to learn what's going on for you. But you've traveled a lot as well, haven't you, in the past? I
Yes,
remember you
I
told
have.
me at some point
I
you
have
lived
traveled
somewhere
here
else,
in.
didn't you?
Yes, yes. But last 2 years I've been here in Jaipur.
Yeah.
Since
Mm.
pandemic, we haven't traveled because last year it was visa issues and all. Back to US, we didn't go back to US because of Trump. He banned a lot of visas and there were no
Mm.
flights going on. So all those things, and then I started working, and yeah, still it's going on, the things are going on good here, so I have no plans to travel very soon, but
Mm.
probably yeah, I'll be traveling again. So in US and in Japan, I was in Japan and in US for a long time.
And were you there when you had children, or was that before children?
Yeah, when I had my first, before I had my first one, I was there. Then I had my first one, and then we lived there for a couple of years. And the second child was born in US.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, right. So yeah,
Oh.
this is the longest term I have been in India after my marriage, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that when we first met each other, you kind of were there just for like a short period, kind of, but then obviously pandemic came and that changed
Yeah,
everything.
it has changed everything. Yeah, and because my kids are in school right now, I don't want them to drop the session in between, and then
Yeah.
I don't want to travel because in the middle of the session it's difficult to get in schools anywhere you go, and it's
Mm, of
difficult for
course.
them to catch up with studies because pattern is very different. In India, it's very different. US is very different. The standards are very different, type of studies, the way of studies, everything they need to adapt. So it's kind of challenging for them also if we go in the middle of the session. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm waiting for that too.
Yeah. Well, let's see where life takes you. But I mean, you've created your business so that you can work from anywhere. And probably it doesn't matter so much where you're based at the moment. So
Yeah, that is the most fascinating thing, which when I started doing this, that was the most fascinating thing for me because I did not invest a lot in what I'm
Yeah.
doing, except the learning thing, which I already had my degrees and the learning stuff. And I was a tech person, so I can get the hang of it very quickly. Even if I want to learn new things, I can just do it in few minutes or hours. It's not very challenging for me to get that kind of a stuff. The only thing that the social media, the whole thing, Instagram, LinkedIn, it was very new for me, and how things work on it
Yeah.
was very new for me. So thankfully to all my cousins here in India, they have all the young people are on social
The young
media
people.
nowadays.
Of course.
The youngsters have like they know everything about social media. Youngsters
Yeah.
like
My
so
son wants to become a YouTuber. So for him, it's the
oh
dream. And he's like, because I all like sometimes I get really fed up with it because he watches that stuff, which for me is pretty nonsense. And he sometimes talks like them in a way that I don't appreciate. So we have a few clashes about his YouTube consumption and what he watches on it. But then I keep telling him, like, these are not real people. No one has time in their life to record these nonsense videos. Like, do something proper with your time. And sometimes, because I don't know what to do with him, like it's really difficult at the moment with this. Like, okay, he needs to occupy himself. Okay, he enjoys it, but he turns into that weird, you know, teenager at only 7. Anyway, long story short, he comes to me and he's like, "But mom, I know there are families on YouTube. They do videos together and they have like
right.
millions of followers. Why don't we do that?" And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do any YouTube videos together. It's just, yeah, like he's got this thing, and now he's trying to convince me that we should this like family, I don't know, YouTube channels. I don't know. Watch the space. You never know what comes up. He is very good in, convincing me. Let's see. But yeah, he's got his little channel, which is still on private because I'm still not really keen on like making that all public. But he records videos with his birds because he loves birds, and he shows people how to handle birds and what he does with his birds. But yeah, social media, it's a different world. And now the little one at 2.5 years, because he wants to be like his big brother, he's like, he watches on the tablet his like, I don't know, baby Buzz and whatever. But now he's like, no, mom, I want to watch Minecraft because I want to be like my big brother. But Minecraft is not quite for your age. It's just, oh,
Yeah,
but
it's
they
kind of
know
a lot of
everything about social
exposure
media.
for them for this age. So it's
Yeah,
sometimes difficult for us as parents to restrict those things which we do not want them to get into. Even my kids, like my elder one is almost 13 and my younger one is 8. So I don't want them to get exposed to a lot of stuff on YouTube, which is not meant for them. But of
yeah.
course, there is a lot of security concerns on that channel. So yeah, even I keep an eye on what they're watching, what they're doing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
You've got to keep an eye, but it's difficult to strike that balance. Like, let's say you're working and he finds the phone and he's like disappearing in his bedroom, and I'm like, so everything is quiet. Where is he gone? What is he
right.
doing? And I find him
Some
on
it's
YouTube watching nonsense, like with like these words where you're like, hey, and he knows exactly because and they go like,
oh yeah.
they get all like, oh, she caught me. And oh, it's just, he knows exactly what
it's
he's doing, but it's
it's like
difficult to.
yeah, it's amazing to know that anywhere in the world, whoever it is, it's the same situation for moms and
Same.
it's the same reaction for kids
Yeah,
in
there is
these
no
kind of age
culture
groups.
like culture
There's no
difference with
culture
that.
barrier,
This is
there's no language
universal.
barrier.
No,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
universal around the globe.
Which is kind of
And
calming me down.
right. Yeah, and that's what connects us. That's the special element which connects us around the globe. And
Yeah.
yeah, like when I work, is my kid also. She looks at me. She follows me, and she says, "Oh, you work for small business. I also have kind of small business. We can make this idea small business." Like, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we can make this idea. Like she had a frill out of her frock, and she made a skirt out of it for a doll kind of a
Okay.
thing. So yeah, I appreciated her. Yes, you can make a small business out of it, and she's totally into it. Like, oh, my mom is helping small business people. So they are also exposed to social media and they know what's going
Mm,
around them, and yeah, they want to. And even on the TV shows, like many entrepreneur shows in India right now, it's
mm,
encouraging for kids also, like Shark
yeah.
Tank and all those. So
Yeah.
yeah, we watch sometimes together, and she knows the little bit things she has got to understand. That's how things work. So she also says, oh, let's make a reel. Which is the trending one? Show it to me.
Oh gosh. Exactly. Yeah, she is the entrepreneur of tomorrow. Huh? This is the nice thing that they're seeing us, and I see that with my son as well. He's very like, okay, I want to do this. How much should I charge? How do I get people?
Right.
And yeah, it's amazing. I love that. I'm like, we have
Yeah,
got
me
to make a
too.
business plan. He came with, he was drawing a picture of, okay, he wants to have his pet shop and he's going to sell birds and they're going to cost that much. And he has to find the money to build it. And he put it in an envelope, he labeled it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, wow,
Wow,
you're
that's
serious about this.
yeah.
Now he's finding a business partner. His best friend has also a big interest in animals. So they're making plans together now, how they launch their
Wow.
pet shop. And it was quite funny. Like sometimes they're just incredibly smart, even though they're still young, because in Mauritius you can't just go and buy a land unless you're a Mauritian citizen. So
Okay.
there are certain rules to that. So I'm not a citizen yet. I can't go and buy a land, but my husband is, so he can buy a land. Anyway, my son came to me and he was like, his friend is a little bit older than him, but he was like, so what age can you start a business? And I'm like, well, really officially you have to be 18, you have to be an adult. Okay, so my friend can do it first and I can't do it. And I'm like, well, you can make a partnership. So, she can be the owner and you're the partner. But then she can't buy a land because she's not Mauritian. So I have to buy the land and I'm just like, oh my God, like, it's incredible. What's going on? How
Yeah,
he's connecting the things, huh?
the things.
So yeah, he's got it all figured out. He just has to grow up now. But I
It's a
was
good
really like,
thing. Yeah.
wow.
Right. And it's a good thing if they are understanding those things in a very small age so that they can start early when they're in maybe
Yeah,
probably middle school or high school. They can
exactly.
start earning their pocket money and they can
Exactly.
get those experiences where as soon as they grow up, they can put those experiences into real life, right?
Exactly.
So yeah. So yeah,
And hopefully for
it's
them, the business works earlier than it did for us, isn't it? I mean, we
yeah,
took until
hopefully,
kind of
hopefully
the
things
second half
change.
of our life and we're like still finding our way. And they probably, as soon as they are able to, they will be going and we will watch them like, wow, it's going
Yeah,
to be a
and if they
difference.
have the vision from the beginning, I guess, like if they when they're small, if they have that vision what they want to be, they can work towards those goals. Like my elder one is in middle school, but from now on, we can think like he can think where he wants to be and what he wants to study and what exams he should appear in and try to achieve that. So that is good for them because the higher studies is required in all industries, whether you want to
Yeah.
be MBA or whether you want to be an engineer or so you can target those goals if you have that vision in a smaller age. I think so. Yeah, and now
Absolutely.
in this ever changing world in digitization and a lot of new things like AI, machine learning, all those stuff and is coming in. So yeah, these kids have a lot of opportunities in those areas as well. So yeah, and of course in business as well, businesses grow. People are women and entrepreneurs. We see so many women entrepreneurs nowadays. Like we started late, but from early ages in 20s and 18, as soon as they get adults, they invest, they make their manufacturing business or e-commerce business and a lot of other things are going on. Yeah. And even many institutes in India, which are big
Mhm.
colleges, they are supporting women entrepreneurs and aiding them to grow. and yeah, they are
That's
getting
amazing.
grants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so time is changing fast.
Changing.
Yeah,
And it's amazing
yeah,
that it's happening because I mean, obviously my belief, and I don't know a lot about it, but my belief in India is that women haven't been supported in that area a lot. So I think it's amazing to hear that this is happening because
it
there
is
are
happening.
amazing women like you out there and your daughter who need to have these opportunities. So
Right, we all need to have this opportunity, and I'm happy that I started working in the industry with what I am working right now, because I'm not, even though I'm not very fast paced, even though uh, I'm not doing a lot of things together. I'm not in rush to grow like 10,000 followers or something. But still,
yeah,
I'm helping women like me who are doing their stuff and to support their kids, their family, and topmost is to support themselves. Like they wanted to do something for a long time, but they did not get that opportunity to do, and they want to align with somebody who can help them genuinely. So
yeah,
they don't want to go to those companies and those formal, like they don't want to do that paperwork with the formal things and all those things. They don't understand those things, right? Of course, we
yeah,
need to
yeah,
do, we need to be professional and we need to sign contracts, and that is the different stuff. The legal stuff is different, the basic stuff. But even I cannot understand a lot of paperwork stuff if we go to a digital marketing agency or any other big companies for our work. So that's why like freelancers like us can connect to them
yeah,
and work for them, right? So it's like trust building,
absolutely.
and it's like that kind of a connection. If I'm a tech, I can help them. They are in social media or they are selling clothes. They can help me in some things. Like it's like mutual thing. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
It's a collaboration. It's more like the doing it together instead of like, okay, this is me, I'm big, I'm powerful, and this is you, where it kind of can feel scary as well. I think like if I as an individual business owner, I'm gonna go to a big company, I would feel really small. So I totally agree that
yeah,
the connection and the trust
right.
with someone who's also quite small is just much easier and eventually like the personal connection, that's what I've noticed a lot is like there has to be some vibe, there has to be some, I like you, you like me situation, and then it just flows much easier instead of like this hierarchy and this like bureaucracy and stuff like that. So yeah, I
Right,
totally
right,
agree.
right. And we all start from somewhere. We all have been
Yeah,
there struggling, and we all have been in the learning phase. So if we get to know somebody who could help us to get to the next level where we are
yeah,
right now, it would be wonderful, right? So, and
absolutely.
a lot of women who are in e-commerce here in India who have started their pickle business, who have started their apparels, jewelry, and art, and all those things they have been selling on social media. They are non-technical. They
Yeah,
struggle a lot from
of
getting a
course. Yeah,
payment gateway to registering their company. They do not know how to buy a domain. They do not know many basic things, but they have that talent to make those pickles, sell them, package them, build that channel of marketing, all those things. They are trying to do it with their partners or by themselves. So yeah, as a technical person like me, I'm happy to help them, and from home, from convenience of my home, like I'm helping my kids as well as helping these females. So yeah, I'm loving it so far. And for you also, you are working with a lot of women around the globe, right? So
yes,
how is your
exactly. I mean,
experience?
no, I love that. Like you said, this connection and helping each other and supporting. And sometimes that means, okay, financially, but sometimes it also means, okay, I learn from you, you learn from me kind of situation where it's like this
Mm-hmm.
trading and collaborating. I love doing that as well. And really just surrounding yourself with people who are doing the thing they love. I think this is so important for me, like you said, that these ladies and they have this passion or talent about the fashion and the clothes and whatever. They don't know the technical stuff, but they're doing it and they're finding the people who can help them do the things that they don't know. It inspires me because obviously I haven't figured everything out and I know I'm passionate about something, and if I find someone, if I feel that this person is passionate about something, I have something in common, and I love that. because otherwise, like I sit in my little office, and of course I've got my friends around, but very few of them are entrepreneurs, like locally, like physical, where we meet. So the conversations are very different. So I think it's beautiful. And I mean, I'm connecting with you in India, in the US, in Europe, back in Germany, where I hardly have any connection back to Germany because I left so many years ago, and I've got some really old friends, and once in a while we wave at each other, kind of thing, but we're not really connected. But I'm able to do that because of the connection I'm building through the internet, and I love that. It's just beautiful. And to see that we women can do that, and that there are other women like you and me who support this. I mean, this is what we need in the world. We need more of this supporting and more of this like coming together and bringing it up. When you just see what's happening in the world at the moment, again, it's just so sad. So
Yeah,
we women have to stick together, do our thing, and through that grow and grow this bigger into the world. Even if we are small,
absolutely.
but if we put a lot of small people together, you still get a big chunk. So this is my like vision and ambition to somehow help wherever I can. Yeah.
Yes, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I second your opinion in that. It's the same thing. If we get together in small things, that yes, it makes a difference.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, yeah. And we are happy to
Oh,
do that from home with our kids. So yeah.
yeah. No, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that I would be doing this. I thought I would be working in an office, usually 9 to 5. That was what I learned, and that's what I saw, and like, yeah, that's what I did most of my career life. But
Yeah,
actually, it's just so much nicer, like I've got the flexibility. I'm spending quality time with my children,
right.
and that's just amazing. I get to do
Yeah.
both worlds.
It's
For me, this is
yeah, both worlds you can connect everywhere. I've been working with women in Europe and US and here, and also here in multiple industries. One project, three co-founders, they're living in Bangalore, Delhi, one in Dubai. So it's different. Getting together on the projects, working together around the globe. It's amazing.
exactly, yeah. The world is huge,
Yeah,
but still small, which is just, I think this is,
right.
yeah. Our parents didn't have these opportunities, and again, I'm curious to see what opportunities will come to my children because of the how the world is connected. Of course there are challenges, and hopefully we will figure them out as we go along, but I think overall, I think it's quite exciting what's going on in the world if you put all these other BS thing out of the way.
Aside, yes. You put
Yeah,
those things aside. Yes, yes.
exactly.
I hope everything gets better soon in this world. Something or else is going on since 2 years.
No, exactly. It's
Right.
been, yeah, it's one thing after another, and all those things we don't need. And yeah, it's just, I mean, it's shocking, like with
It is indeed. Yeah.
the Ukraine and Russia, what's happening at the
Right.
moment, and it's scary. And I don't
It
know.
is very
Let's see
scary.
what's going on, but let's just hope and pray.
Hope for the,
Yeah,
yeah, hope we need to
yeah,
pray for everyone out there, yeah, getting
better.
affected. Right, right, right. So we have to be strong and keep going. That is the thing. And yes,
Exactly.
right. We have to teach the same thing to our kids, and they have a lot of
Yeah,
opportunities which we did not have in our time. But yeah,
exactly.
we should encourage them to do whatever they want, and it's love. Yeah. So if we do something challenging, they will learn from us the good things
Yeah.
that. So yeah, that's what keeps me motivated. Yeah,
Mhm.
the two things, working with the women like me and my kids who see me to work, who see me working and taking new challenges, getting tense sometimes too. How will I do this? How will I do that?
Yeah,
But yeah, it's part of life,
but you're
and
finding
we
your
need to
way
do it.
through. Yeah,
Yeah, right, right.
exactly. I love
Yeah.
that. Amazing. Cool. Well, thank you so much for the chat today. It was wonderful to connect with you again. I wish you all the best for, your business with your children, everything, and we'll stay in touch anyway. I'm always
Sure.
curious to see
It
what
was
you're
my
doing on the
pleasure.
internet,
It was
and
my pleasure. And I had so
thank
much of
you.
great time talking to you as well. Yeah, so
Cool.
keep connected.
That's what I wanted. We had a good laugh, we had a little chat. Yeah, this is amazing.